back to the Kia Hyundai channel. My name's Gabby.
I'm Charlotte.
And today we're talking about the 2025 Kia Sorento in the X-Line Limited trim level. And you may think, what has possibly changed from last year? It was just refresh.
Yeah, didn't we just see something different for the exterior?
We just got this car. And the answer, it's subtle, but it makes a big difference. And we're going to show you everything there is to know about the 2025 Kia Sorento, what's new, what hasn't changed, and what we love about it in today's live streamed, I should say, car review.
All right, and just like what Gabby said, these videos are live streamed, so which means we do them every single day, weekday that is, at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you guys have questions, please put them in the live chat. We'll do our very best to answer them for you. We also have dedicated Q&A time at the end of this video, and if you're watching this in the future, like, comment, subscribe. Do those first. And if you have any questions, leave them down below and we'll do our best to answer them for you.
All right, so should we get right into it?
Let's go.
All right, so we're going to start off with an exterior walkthrough, talk about the powertrain, the specifications of this vehicle, and then of course, what has changed. I want to start off with the exterior because this paint color, it may look like something we've seen before. More specifically, something called gravity gray. That's not it. This is not the case. You may be familiar with the metal band Pantera, but are you familiar with the metallic paint Panthera Metal Gray? Yeah, it's a bad comparison, I know. But this is our new paint color for 2025. We have Axed Gravity Gray, which was a beautiful paint. This, however, is very, very similar, so you still have a beautiful metallic flake to it. This is going to hide dirt, dust, and scratches much better than something like a black paint. I do love the way black looks, but hear me out, that's what changes for 2025. We have blacked out emblems. So our Kia badging on the hood is still that beautiful low profile finish, but now it's completely matte black. And then below that, we have our blacked out grille, which houses a little bit of gloss black with some vertical matte finish. So a mixture of, I guess, textures, I should say, and a little bit, I don't know, it adds more dimension. When you have a completely blacked out car, it's easy to get lost in it, if that makes sense. This vehicle still stands out, has amazing road presence that is largely due to, the change in the emblems, but also the rest of the things we love about this vehicle, like that amber daytime running light, that was added for 2024, really almost widens the hood of the Sorento and gives it, again, more road presence. It's more masculine in a way. I hate saying that about a car, but there's a lot more going on. We also have a vertical headlamp. It's a full LED, so very, very bright and incredible visibility. And then below that, we have our LED fog lights. Now the fog lights actually start on the X-Line Limited trim, so if that's something you're looking for in your next vehicle, definitely consider this trim or above. The blacked out elements don't stop there. I don't think I mentioned this earlier, but we have some dark chrome surrounding your grille. And then below that, body color and a black front bumper garnish. This is also going to house your front parking sensors. So we get front parking sensors and also a forward-facing camera on the X-Line Limited trim level and above. So this isn't even the top trim, and you're already getting features like your front-facing camera, the 360 camera, all that kind of stuff. And we'll show you what that looks like when we hop inside. You're also going to get a radar plate in the very center, and that's going to be utilized for things like your smart cruise control with stop and go, but this vehicle is going to take that even a step further and introduce highway drive assist level 2, which is essentially a semi-autonomous drive mode where the vehicle is going to recognize the speed limit of the highway that you're on, but it's also going to be capable of performing its own lane changes.
No way.
Yes way. So when you go to indicate your indicator, you turn your signal on, it's going to make sure obviously that there's no other cars there, and then when it's safe to do so, it will take control over the steering to change your lane. You can certainly shut this off if you're not a fan of it and still utilize all the other great features that highway drive assist offers. So again, that speed limit correction, slowing down when the car ahead of you slows down, coming to a stop if you hit stop and go traffic, and recognizing speed limit changes. So it's a very, very intelligent vehicle, and those features are very easy to use. We've done videos explaining all of them and demonstrating them. Another thing that's blacked out about this car are lower grille and also our skid plate. So the skid plate is going to exactly match what we saw on the grille above. So there's not a lot of drastic changes on this car. Everything flows very nicely, and I think it looks stunning on this exterior paint color. All right, let's pop the hood, talk about the engine and the powertrain. So the Kia Sorento comes with 2 powertrain options. If you're in Canada, the base model is going to come with a 2.5-liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder engine, but anything above that is going to come turbocharged. And I will say, maybe the naturally aspirated will do it for you, but the turbo is where things really get kicked up many notches, I should say. So it is going to be, another 2.5 liter, but this time with the turbo. It is gasoline direct injection, and you're going to get 281 horsepower with 311 pound-feet of torque. That is a huge difference from the 170 or 87 horsepower that the naturally aspirated offers. You're also going to get a dual clutch transmission. That's a hot topic. A lot of people aren't familiar with that. They just put their car in drive, recognize that they don't actually have a clutch pedal, and they're happy. This vehicle, it's a little bit different. We will link our dual clutch transmission video in the description if you want to check that out just to learn more about it. It does give you a little bit more of a sporty feel, has instantly quick gear shifts, and it is fairly efficient. So this vehicle performs very, very well on the highway, and you get a 10.3 liters per 100 kilometer rating combined, so that is city and highway. You also have a fairly good towing capacity. So this specific model will give you 3,500 pounds of towing capacity. If you go up one trim level to the X Pro, you get 4,500.
Whoa.
Ooh, and that is due to enhanced cooling. Okay, wheels, these are 20-inch blacked out alloys. You get a mix of gloss black and matte black on the specific wheel. Now you can't tell because we put a lot of tire shine on for our detail today. And there was some overspray. We're not professionals, but you do get a Continental all-season tire. And I just love the layout of this wheel. I think it looks really good. It's definitely different than a more traditional alloy, which we've done in the past. We can actually check out that Sorento over there, which has more of a, even then that one's a little bit modern, but yeah, I think it looks good. Here's another small difference from last year. The Kia emblem in the center cap is again blacked out to match your hood emblem. So everything's cohesive on this car. Great attention to detail, and it looks really, really good. Your wheel arches are black plastic, and you do have a marker light on there, or a marker, I should say.
This isn't overbearing though, the plastic.
Yeah,
it looks
no.
really good.
So in comparison to something like Hyundai's doing this in a lot of their vehicles, where there's almost like body armor, body cladding that's all plastic on their cars, that is definitely more of a choice, a style choice. Kia is keeping it subtle, which I do like. We have this beautiful fender flare, which is a mix of gloss black and a little bit of matte. And that brings us to our mirror, which is all blacked out regardless of your trim level. On this trim is where you're going to get the power folding mirror, so it's going to start over here, which is great, and they're also going to be synced to your memory seats, but more on that later. Ooh. All right, camera located on the bottom of the mirror too, so that's going to start on this trim level. That is going to be one of the many cameras that are utilized for your full 360 view, which Charlotte will show inside. And every time I go to indicate a turn, it's going to give me live feed of whatever is happening in my blind spot. So again, going to change lane, if you're not utilizing those automated lane changes, you can actually see what's happening there. It's also great for city driving because it'll show you cyclists or people walking too close on the sidewalk. Parallel
Dogs.
parking, it helps too.
Never know what could be lurking in your blind spot.
Exactly. And the 360 camera definitely helps. This is a larger vehicle. It's actually our second largest gas car that Kia offers. All right. Raised roof rails. So these have, again, a two-tone look to them. You get the gloss black, but a little bit of matte plastic. And then we have some black pillars surrounding your windows and some trim as well, too. You're also going to have a blacked out belt line on this car. And as we work our way to the back, nothing much has changed here in the styling department from 2024. But if you haven't seen our 2024 review, the biggest change that the Sorento has gone through in its facelift from its 2023 model has been the inclusion of a connected taillight.
You just blew my mind!
In the past, this vehicle looked exactly the same from behind, but there was a breakage there. We've become together now. I really like it. I think it looks good. Sporty taillights. You get a high-mounted stop lamp with a spoiler that encases your rear wiper. Rear wiper is nice to have. Obviously heated back windshield, and I should have mentioned earlier, but you do have rain sensing wipers up at the front. Here's another blacked out badge. You get a blacked out Sorento on the bottom left, and your 4X badge.
It's chrome!
Yeah, it's not blacked out.
X-Line.
X-Line badge, yep. But speaking of 4X, this vehicle does have our all-wheel drive system that also incorporates terrain mode. So all trim levels of the Kia Sorento, you don't have to go to the top, you're still gonna get the ability to adjust your torque distribution. So you can actually do a 50-50 split when you're in mud or sand mode. And all of those drive modes will, of course, adjust your vehicle to perform in those conditions. So it's a very capable SUV. However, we always recommend winter tires if you are living in somewhere that experiences snow or just cold conditions. Power liftgate on the X-Line Limited, and then a lot of cargo space with your third row folded down. Let's move these out of the way. The Sorento on all turbocharged trim levels comes with 6 seats, so this is the only seating configuration you can get with this vehicle. You get 2 very wide seats in the back. I'm very happy they didn't squeeze in an extra one.
For sure.
Yeah, to make it a 7-seater, but no one would use that extra seat.
Worst seat in the house.
To bring them back, it's easy. If you utilize the Velcro that's on the backs of the seats, or else you can see they get lost. All right, so you pull it back, flip your headrest up, you have an extra seat. I absolutely love the captain chairs configuration because it makes definitely a more premium experience, at least for your second row passengers, and even for people sitting in the third row, they feel more open and connected to the cabin. It's not like there's a complete blockade of seats in front of them, so it's definitely, it's nicer in that sense. The only downside I can see of a seating configuration like this is if you are carrying 5 passengers, but you also have a lot of things to bring with you, obviously you're using quite a bit of room and there's not a lot of storage space behind that. But again, it depends on your driving habits, what you do, if you have another vehicle, that kind of thing. The Sorento does have a spare tire, so there's your kit, your jack, and the spare tire itself is located right underneath. While we're down here, it's also a good time to take a look at our skid plate, which again is that dark chrome finish. You also have rear parking sensors mounted on your bumper, so another safety element there. And this vehicle does have rear cross traffic alert and assist, meaning if I'm reversing and there's traffic coming from behind, think a busy parking lot during Christmas season, that kind of thing, it'll alert me where the threat is coming from and apply emergency braking if I fail to do so as a driver. Let's close this. I mentioned towing capacity earlier, but I'll repeat it, 3,500 pounds. Unless there's any other questions regarding the exterior of the car.
Can I say something real quick? Do you mind? So the one thing, I know Gabby pointed out that we have the black badging. I just want to highlight how much I like it because a lot of the time, and I'm not knocking Hyundai's design or anything like that, but with some of their vehicles that they've been introducing is they've been doing the dark on the front and then keep it the traditional chrome on the rear. So I love that everything is uniform, but still on the vehicle, like we still get the matte black badging, we get the darker skid plate, and then we also get some glossy black. So it doesn't feel as flat, even though it is all one color and in one tone.
The Stinger, I think it was for 2022, they changed some of the badging on the car.
Yeah.
Some of it was brushed aluminum, then there was the GT badge, which was aluminum with black outline, and then there was like an all-wheel drive badge, and nothing was the same. Hated that. This is nice to see though.
I like it when it's similar or at least in the same color family. Okay, tell me about fuel.
Fuel, it's regular unleaded, so you don't have to put any fancy premium gas in this car.
Even though it's a turbo?
Even though it's a turbo. Another thing, it's a 67-liter fuel tank, so it's not that large, and it does well with what it's working with. Again, this vehicle is rated at 10.3 liters per 100 kilometers. You could definitely see it do better depending on your driving lifestyle. There is, of course, drive modes in the vehicle that you can select as a driver to change the way the vehicle is going to respond to throttle input and also the way it changes gears. So if you're in sport mode all the time, obviously you could see your vehicle do a little bit worse in the fuel efficiency department, but if you're easy on the throttle and you're driving efficiently, you can make it a little bit better. There's also a hybrid and plug-in hybrid version of the Sorento, so if you are exploring a more hybridized option, those are your options. All right, let's take a look inside.
Awesome. All right, so now it's my turn, and you're probably wondering, well, how do we get inside the vehicle? Well, aside from using
the key,
symphony of my life. Aside from using the keys, you do have digital key on this vehicle, meaning I can actually lock and unlock this vehicle utilizing my smartphone, which is very cool. And if you don't want to use that, it is still proximity based, so you just have to have the key on you. You don't actually need to press any buttons. Let's take a look at what we have on the driver's side door in true Kia Hyundai fashion. I'm actually going to sneak over to this side. So for the X-Line, some of the interior accents that you get is going to be this wood grain trim, which again looks very nice, matches the exterior very well. Some quilted leather. We have some contrast stitching too. And then some of the more X-Line Limited specific features we're going to see is the inclusion of power folding mirrors. Oh buddy, power folding mirrors, electronically controlled, and this also has integrated memory seats. So with those power folding mirrors, the memory seats are actually going to save your mirror configurations as well. And you can actually save 2 per driver profile for a grand total of 4 seating combinations. You have full automatic windows that are one touch and pinch protected. And then of course, you also have a Bose premium sound system in this vehicle. So if you want that enhanced sound experience, this is trim for you. This is where it starts.
We're getting a lot of, I only came here for the Corgi and they want to see it, so I'm
Marco,
just gonna do it.
Come here, Mr. Boy. Oh my goodness, I just said that on camera. Buddy, come here. You sleepy?
Sparkle, come here.
Come here, buddy.
He's done.
He's tired. He's had a big day at Brantford Kia.
He has gotten so much attention today. It's too much for him. This is not a real dog.
This is my dog. His name is Markle. He's one of 2. I have 2 corgis, Markle and Middleton.
Oh, this brings me to another exterior element. So the X-Line actually starts at being 33 millimeters higher of ground clearance than the other trim lines of the Sorento. And in case you wanted the specific measurements, or the unspecific measurements, it is 1 corgi height.
It's 1 Markle tall.
So check this out.
So he fits underneath there. Very specific.
Yeah, I think I said 33 millimeters of extra ground clearance. No, 33 millimeters minimum ground clearance.
Yeah.
That's what I meant
Heaven
to say.
forbid we use a tape measure,
Yeah.
right?
We're not using
We're
any of that.
women, we don't do that.
Oh boy. Charlotte, you're setting us back.
I know. Hi, buddy. Anyways,
Let's get back to the
back
video.
to the interior.
She's gonna be upset now though.
Hi, buddy. Such a good boy. Hi, mister. Okay, so I'll have Gabby actually zoom in on the seat because that is something that is exclusive to the X-Line Limited, or not, my apologies, not exclusive, it starts on. So these are actual leather seats, which is very nice. And you're also gonna see that we have multiple ways to configure them. So with this seat, we have 4-way lumbar support. We also have the driver's knee extender, so very comfortable, tons of ways to configure it. And like I said, you can save all of that too. These seats, they're quilted, they're leather, they're heated, they're ventilated. And for the passenger seat, we even have a powered seat for them with the inclusion of lumbar support. So luxury for everyone involved. Right, Markle? He's like, get me out of here. Bro wants to go home. I'll show what's over here. So over here, you do have your brightness adjuster, tailgate control, and traction control. And I'll just point out the vents too. I love how they mimic the headlight unit that we see on the front. Very cool from a design perspective. All right, come around.
Someone asked, what features does the Kia Sorento have that the EV9 lacks? And I'm gonna say,
An engine.
an engine. Hey, Markle. You wanna go in?
Hi, buddy.
Okay. Should I show the passenger seat?
Absolutely.
Okay, passenger seat, again, beautiful quilted leatherette with the X-Line badging, and you also get a powered passenger seat with lumbar support. And that starts on this trim, right, Charlotte?
Absolutely.
Beautiful.
So 4 screens in this vehicle, dual 12.3-inch screens. I'll talk about this one first. You can see that we're operating with some nice, a little bit of a rugged graphic, which I think is very cool, matches the design. And also you can see that you're able to cycle through your trip computer, see how the vehicle responds to you, see your navigation, and then also your safety features. Kia lays everything out very logically, so you can see over here we've got our media controls versus our driving controls. So accessing that highway drive assist to lane following distance, lane keep assist. Behind us, we've got paddles, so if you want to manually manipulate your dual clutch, you definitely can. And then wiper stock, lighting stock, all of that pretty standard. Over here, you can see that we have our 12.3-inch screen. Again, this is the updated software with integrated navigation as well. So very cool, very seamless. And the nice thing is this does utilize wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. So full wireless experience, and you even have a wireless phone charger to do everything, no cords. And it's gas, so no cords for sure. I'll just peek into setup to show you guys vehicle driver's assistance from here. Of course, like I said, you can access all of those safety controls that Gabby mentioned. And then I'll pop into, no, what am I doing? That's not what I wanted to do. Driver's assistance is there. Everything else you are going to utilize Kia Connect for, so things like your diagnostics, everything along those lines. I'm losing my mind a little bit, distracted with having Markle here today. But I do like how on the dash you can see more of that wood grain trim. Again, I think it looks very good. I like it when they integrate different materials. It still keeps it pretty seamless. Down below, switchable infotainment and climate control cluster. So here, of course, it's set up for infotainment with the integrated search function as well. So you can search for features, which I think is very neat. And you can also utilize it for your climate control. Now, if you don't like this, you can access all of these features and the climate from your screen, and then also from your virtual assistant too. So you can actually use voice commands to set it. I mentioned that these seats are both going to be heated and ventilated. We even have heated seats in the rear, which I think is pretty dang swanky, if you ask me. Steering wheel, because I didn't mention it, is leather wrapped and also heated, so very comfortable. And then if you want to take a look down here, that's where your wireless phone charger is going to be. No piano black cover, which I honestly vibe with. I really like it. A USB-C for data transfer and battery. USB-C for charging. Real gear shift, which I like because we are slowly losing that to the column mounted shift by wire. But it's nice to see that again. Again, I think it makes it feel a little bit more like the X-Line package too. And then Gabby already gave us a brief intro to drive and terrain modes. For our drive modes, we have normal, eco, sport, and smart. And so each of these are going to change how the powertrain is going to respond. So it's going to change either the throttle response, the steering, to give you the output, of course, that it's named after. So sport, sportier, but not as great for your fuel efficiency. Eco, can sometimes feel a little bit more sluggish, but better for your fuel economy. Smart is going to be a mix. Okay, terrain modes, snow, mud, and sand. So that's going to change up your torque distribution, where you can do that 50-50 split if you want. So for mud, it's going to reduce wheel spin. Sand going to keep those wheels spinning for you, depending on what the vehicle needs. I realize I'm probably talking pretty fast, but we'll finish up what we've got here. Electronic parking brake, heated steering wheel, auto hold, downhill braking assist, cameras, idle stop and go to turn it off.
Oh, show us the cameras.
And also your parking sensors are down here too. So let's see if do we see Marco?
He doesn't look real.
He's so cute. Aww. Okay, so here's your 360 camera. You can see how handy this would be if you're in your driveway. It's so cute. I'm sorry, I'm laughing too hard. Can you tell these videos are live? Oh my goodness. So here's your 360 camera. It will pull up the view if it does detect anything from the sensors. It'll bring up the live feed, which is very cool. And you can also see that you have so many different angles that you can look at. And you can even do a full 360 view. So it's like you're standing outside the vehicle and you're looking at it. I'm just looking for Marco again if I don't see him.
He's under the car.
Yeah, that's what I'm scared of. Okay, do we have eyes on him? Because I will show our blind spot monitoring, but I do have to turn the vehicle on for that. But I'm not moving it.
He's over there.
Okay.
He'll be okay.
Okay, so let's show your blind view monitoring. So when the vehicle is on, when you indicate a turn, it's going to bring up a live feed. And it does that, of course, for both sides with both of those cameras that we saw on the mirrors on the exterior.
Cool.
Very cool. Turn that off.
Open the sunroof before we hop in the back.
Sorry, it's not in accessory mode.
One more.
There you go. So
And
nice.
roof.
Yeah, so I actually love the X-Line Limited trim, and I think I'd prefer it over the X Pro because I think I actually like a lighter headliner, which I feel like is controversial, and in the X Pro you do get the suede headliner. So, but this feels a lot nice and light and bright and huge sunroof. Like, that's massive, man. Massive. Space review. It's got space. That's folded up randomly. But good amount of space here, good amount of space down there too that's covered, which is nice. ECM mirror as well, so it will auto dim for you. And of course, you do actually have Kia Connect Standard on this vehicle, which is Kia's telematics system, so basically smartphone integration, which is very cool to see. Should we take a look at the back seat?
Yeah.
Perfect. Hi, buddy. You're being so good, Mr. Markle.
You are being good, buddy. Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Somebody start a hey buddy counter. Oh, I know. This is your car, isn't it?
Okay.
All right. So Gabby already talked about the fact that we have a 6-seater configuration, so captain's chairs that are still quilted. They are heated, so very comfortable. And Gabby, do you want to show the driver, or not the driver's door, but the door?
For sure.
Because you have second row sun visors, which does start on this trim. One of my favorite features because they fit perfectly and they don't look crazy. You have that wood grain trim, you have some chrome door handles, the heated seats like I mentioned, still that Bose premium sound system, and I really can appreciate that Kia keeps the design elements the same, even if you are in the second row. Corgis not included. For amenities back here, you have dual USB-Cs, you have 2 pockets, so premium pockets, leather and cargo, dual vents, so good circulation for the second row, but also because we have the captain chairs, it's gonna flow to the third row too. You have a household outlet, which does start on this trim as well, 12 volt, and these seats are on a rail system too, so you can move them up or forward to either give more leg room or more pass-through room depending on what you need. You can of course also adjust the backrest, and they have armrests on the side as well, so that's all there too. Great view of the sunroof of course when it's open as well.
I just want to include a disclaimer. Someone said, please turn off that car while Marco's in the room. The car is off.
Yeah,
it was
he's
on
good.
for like 5 seconds. He's okay.
He's good.
All right, we'll check out the back. Oh, sorry, I brought the seat back down.
Oh, it's fine.
I will say these seats are very, very premium for the second row. Having the fold-down armrests, also very, very nice touch. And I like how the cup holders are on the door. I don't know if you said that, but
yeah,
cup
I
holders on
love
the door
that.
is
That's
nice.
like a nice bonus because it feels like it's my cup holder too, you know? These seats are incredibly easy to knock down, which Gabby will demo right now.
Button up there allows the seat to fold forward and slide on its rail. Then you have a step up right over there to bring you right into the third row.
And something I will commend Kia for is the fact that these seats and these seats have lower latch anchors and rear tethers for car seats. So you can fit 4 car seats in this vehicle, which is pretty nice, especially included the fact that they're including the third row. Back here, you still have USB-Cs, you've got cup holders, and you even are able to knock down your second row from here, which is also great if you're trying to do it from the cargo space in the back. 12 volt as well. And yeah, you got hooks for a cargo net, tons of stuff going on back here. Piece of plastic, let's get that. Ooh, sorry. Nice. All right, questions?
Q&A time? All right, just got a little glimpse of it. All right,
He's over
let's
here.
get our stuff.
Do you want to do it in or out of the vehicle?
Maybe we could do it out
Okay,
today.
that way Marco can join us. Come on,
Yeah.
buddy.
I don't know where, but maybe we'll sit down.
Just sit on the floor. Sit in the dog bed.
Price is $50,995 Canadian.
Which, believe it or not, is the same MSRP as the 2024.
Okay.
Buddy, we're not going outside, not yet, okay? Come here, sweetie.
Okay.
Alrighty. This has been a chaotic live stream.
Should we bring him up?
Maybe. He might jump. He might freak.
Jump onto
Hi,
your
Mr.
lap?
boy. Yeah, I guess
got-
I can.
He's got hops. Okay. Sorry, that was our most setup required yet for the Q&A period. Play chase the dog. Pay the belly toll.
He's very long.
Yeah, he's a unit. It's a long boy, certified long boy.
Certified long boy.
He looks very comfortable.
He's a good boy. He's very nice.
He keeps licking my wrist. Let's see. Price,
All right.
please. Again, $50,995 Canadian, and this is one below the top trim level here in Canada. This is probably the trim level I would get if I was shopping for this Sorento, because it's where you add all those extra safety functions like the 360 camera and the full parking sensors, so front, side, and rear sensors. You also get the premium sound system, which is really nice. The just more premium look inside too. So if you like quilted leather and fine touches like that, that is nice to have. Ventilated seats, memory seats. He's so cute.
He's
so
a good boy.
cute.
Is it difficult to clean the dog hair out of these cars? It can kind of depend on the dog. For me, like I don't have too much of a problem. I can just pop out the mats and vacuum. I will say one thing, I drive demo, so I pretty much always either fabric or leather guard my car. So I do that for the interior too.
Do Canadians still pay in maple syrup? It is one of our payment options. So you can actually finance, lease, cash, or maple syrup.
It's gotta be homemade though.
Yeah, your new vehicle. Let's see.
Way to upsell from the business office. I did used to work in the business office.
You'd be surprised though how many trade-ins we get from dog people or animal people, and yeah, the vehicles can get torn up really quickly. I never really take my dog in my car,
Yeah.
but I've noticed, especially my last car, it got a little bit destroyed. Okay.
What is the Hyundai equivalent sister car to the Sorento? So that would be the Santa Fe. So very different look, but same powertrain.
Yeah.
So when you compare those head to head, and we have done a video on it, if you are curious, I think a lot of it comes down to styling, but also functionality too. Santa Fe is a little bit bigger too. I had a corgi named Trapper John.
Aw.
Aw. I've got 2 corgs.
2 of them. Someone
Marco
asked what the
Middleton.
other one's name is, and someone guessed. I was like, of course.
Yeah, it's literally Marco and Middleton are their names.
What was the inspiration behind that?
You'll never believe it.
You'll never believe it, you guys.
Oh.
What ship name is better, Sharby or Gabot? Gabbit.
But
Gabot. Charlotte, Yorkies are better than Corgis. Funny you say that.
listen, I grew up with Yorkies. My childhood dog is still alive. He's 13. You wouldn't believe me that he's still alive because he doesn't look like
He
he's
does
still
not
alive.
look it, that's
and
for
his
sure.
name is Happy Heart.
Yeah. I think the last time I saw him was 2 years ago when he looked.
And you thought he was dead.
I thought he was dead.
So I've got Corgis and Yorkies, don't worry.
Oh, someone just said this could be a great last question too. Sorry, I just joined. Any big differences between the 2024 and the 2025 Sorentos? Oh boy, you're gonna want to sit down for this one. No. The only difference is we now get a new exterior paint color. So it's actually the one we showcased today. It's called Panthera Metal, very similar to the Gravity Gray. However, the Gravity Gray is being discontinued. So if you like that, you'll love this. Another thing that's going to change is the exterior accents. So the Kia emblem, front, back, and on your wheels are going to be blacked out, and you just have a bit more dark touches to the vehicle itself. It's always hard to show on a vehicle that's already a dark paint color, but it is kind of a blackout package. So Plasti Dip, you can keep that to the side, save your money, and get the 2025 version. It is also nice that the MSRP is the same as last year, like you said earlier.
The fact that there isn't a price increase, even though we are seeing a slight change on the exterior, is really nice. So save yourself a can of Plasti Dip.
Barack also said, can we get these for MSRP? So if you're in Ontario, Canada, and you want to buy it from us, you can certainly get an MSRP because we do not add any sort of dealer markups or forced products
Market
on
adjustment
you.
fees, nothing like that.
Absolutely. We actually do have a couple Sorentos here at our dealership that are available as well too. So we're not just a YouTube channel, we actually do work for a car dealership, and we can sell, service, deliver everything for your car.
Okay, I'm gonna do one more question, then we'll be done.
Yes.
I want to answer Sage's. So Sage, I'm a mom. Hey, and she said, are captain chairs in the second row easier or better for car seats than a bench? So it's gonna depend. I used to think that I wanted a bench because I was like, oh, if my kid throws something out, then it's not on the floor, it's right next to the car seat. I do find it to be a lot easier as far as utilizing all of the seats in the car when you're using a bench, and also for buckling in and out, whether it be in an infant car seat or like a traditional rear-facing or forward-facing. So I prefer the captain's chairs. That's just my opinion.
Perfect.
Alrighty. On that note, thank you guys so much for joining us. We will see you tomorrow. Say bye, Marco. I'll get Marco to say goodbye. Come here, buddy.
He's like, absolutely not again.
Mr. Boy. Oh, are you okay? Are you scared?
He's done.
Okay, he's done.
Okay. On that note, goodbye,
Bye.
guys.